Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. I know I haven't uploaded in a while. Not a complete legitimate reason, but there's a reason nonetheless. If y'all want me to make a video about it, I will. But I guess you could say I'm back now. Anyway, this would be what if Naruto had cremation. Without further ado, let's get right into the video.
You are watching Shinobi LX. Enjoy.
So Naruto gets the cremation ability the same way, Dabi got it. He was born with it. There's not really anything I can really go based off that. Like, he was born with the ability. And for future reference, it doesn't use chakra he doesn't need chakra to use his ability. But let's get right. Yeah. So we first start this off with Naruto as a baby. When he was born, people noticed, like, after like Kushin, like a couple of weeks or so after the Nine Tails attack, um Naruto was in the nursing room and it burst into blue flames, and no one knew why, no one knew how. But when the flames finally died down, Naruto was still alive and fine, like he was okay. So Hiruzen, fearing like this could be a product of the Nine Tails being inside of Naruto, or some uncanny like ability that Naruto has. The minute that Naruto turns like 8, like what he has, we're skipping that. That's all I wanted to get out there. Once Naruto, once Naruto became the age like for where he can go to school and things, Hiruzen put Naruto under the care of a team of Anbu members, specifically Anbu members that were supposed to teach Naruto and train him on how to master and hone all of his skills no matter what they are. That includes his blue fire ability. And after a while of Naruto using it, it began to burn his skin because of how hot the ability was. But thanks to the Nine Tails, the scars never lasted that long. And when Naruto actually started to go to school, it was like halfway into the year. So when Naruto officially started to go to school, nobody really knew Naruto or talked to Naruto because Naruto mostly kept to himself, and he always gave off this aura of, I don't really care about anybody in here. But one day when he came into class, Sakura walks up to Naruto and asks him, "So what's your deal?" And when Naruto looks at her, he's like, what are you talking about? What's my deal?" And now this has everyone's attention. And Sakura was like, "'Cause you keep walking around here like you own the place." Naruto says, "I don't own or walk around like I own anything. This place belongs to the village." Then Sakura says, "Well, you need to stop because you're not stronger than anyone here. After all, you're just a Nine Tails." And Naruto laughs a little bit, and Naruto looks at her and was like, "Oh yeah? What are you? Hmm? A Konoichi? Your main job in the squad is to heal people. That's what your chakra control is for, right? Do me a favor. Stay out of my business." And then like the right side of his body kind of like bursts into flames, and he's like, "Before I make you." And he goes and sits down. And like no one really seen Naruto's ability. The only way people know is like when he activates it, because time that they seen it is when Naruto bursted into flames when he was a baby, and most people don't even know what that was or what it looked like. Most of the people in his class. So when Naruto goes and sits down, Sasuke looks back at him, and um, Naruto not really trying to like listen or pay attention to Sasuke. Sasuke tells him like Sasuke looks back and tells him, "You're pretty strong, from what I can tell." And Naruto not listening, he goes and he sits down, and the entire time he sits in the back of the class, and he's been sitting with this girl named Hinata, and him and Hinata don't talk at all, but they have a mutual understanding. And Naruto, although without talking to her, has gained some form of respect for her. So when he came and he sat down and he see that she was all bruised up, he finally taps her on the shoulder, and she turns around and he asks her what are all the what are all the bandages for? And before she can even say anything, Aruka tells Naruto he can't be talking in class. And Naruto's like, okay, just tell me when we get out of class, I'll find you when class is over. And Hinata just shakes her head. And when the class is over, Naruto goes and he finds Hinata, and he asks Hinata once again why these scratches on, like why is she bruised and like look like she's been in a fight. And Hinata, like, since no one helped Hinata that day, like if you know what day I'm talking about, you know. But since no one helped Hinata on that day, Hinata doesn't necessarily like to talk to anybody. She's more, she's not shy in this one. She's more of, no one wants me. Like, no one trusts me. No one wants to be my friend. Because that day when she thought Naruto was going to help her, Naruto just walked right past her. But that was only because Naruto had to do something regarding the village. And that's the only thing that Naruto cares about. So Naruto stops and he remembers, wait, you're that girl that I saw that one day. And Naruto basically tells her, what were you and those kids playing? And she was like, no, we weren't. And Naruto's like, wait, so they were messing with you? And Hinata's like, why does it matter to you? You walked right past. You had your option to help and you didn't. And Naruto's like, oh, I see how it is. But that's in the past. This is the present. I want to help now. What? Why are all these bandages on you? And before she can even answer, Neji was like, there you are, Hinata. You're late again. And who is this? And Naruto turns around and it was like, uh, I'm Naruto. But who are you? And before Neji could even say his name, Naruto looks at Hinata and sees that she doesn't look like she wants to go with Neji. And this entire time, Sasuke has been watching them. So, like, before Neji could even say his name, Naruto stops him and was like, so, you train with her. That's what I'm getting from this. Because you said she's late from something. And normally when you're late and you're a kid and you're from a certain clan, you have to train a lot to hold up your clan's reputation. Correct? And Neji was like, where is this coming from? But yeah, she's late to our training session. And Naruto, his body starts kind of like sparking with blue flame. And he was like, so, you think because you're better than her with your Byakugan that you can just abuse her with your power? And Neji laughs and was like, "It's just training. There's no abuse going on." And Naruto was like, "Really? Because if you really paid attention, you would see that she doesn't want to fight you. because of what you do. So with that being said, you want to see true power, and then Naruto's like full body, like burst into flames, and Neji was like, "What is this?" And Naruto's like, "This is power." And he appears behind Neji and grabs him by the back of his neck, and Naruto looks at Hinata, and Hinata sees Naruto doing this, and she's not scared, but she's shocked. Like she didn't know that Naruto would go this far for just her. And Naruto looks at her and was like, "Your call. I can incinerate him, or I can just give him a couple of burns." And no, Hinata in the back, like in Hinata's mind, she didn't expect anybody to go this far for her at all, because not even her dad doesn't even pay attention to her as much as Naruto is right now. Because if her dad, in her mind, she says if her dad was paying attention, he would have realized that she doesn't want to fight Neji at all. She just wants Neji to have a friend, and Neji doesn't have any. He only has her, and he's not paying attention to her as a friend. He's just paying attention to her as a punching bag. So with Naruto, when Hinata says just leave him alone, and Naruto drops him, and he walks up in front of him, and he picks him up, and was like, "This is true power. You're just a cheap imitation." And Sasuke was like, "I didn't even see him move. How was he that fast?" And Naruto tells Hinata that he has a friend. Fuck. Naruto tells Hinata that he has a friend that should be able to help her. And Naruto begins to usher Hinata toward his house. And when they get to his house, Hinata notices that Naruto's house is like, it's big, like people live there with him. Which is true, because when she gets closer into the house, a kunai gets thrown at her, and Naruto melts the kunai instantly. And Naruto's like, "That's not a way to treat someone that I brought home." And out from the shadows comes this guy in the mask and was like, "Sorry, but you haven't brought anyone home. So we just assumed that she was trailing you and you somehow wasn't able to sense her." And Naruto looks at him and was like, "Do you really doubt my power that much? You know, to remind you who gave you that scar?" And the guy takes off the mask, and like all like one side of his face is like completely burned off. Like man just running around looking like all for one on one side of his face. And he was like, "Ah, touche." And out from like once like the lights get turned on, and it's this girl sitting there, and she's like around Naruto and Hinata's age, but she's an Anbu member. And Naruto tells Hinata, "That's the person that I wanted you to see. She should be able to heal you, or make it so where you don't feel the pain." And Naruto walks over there and asks her, can she help Hinata? And she looks at Naruto and was like, "It's gonna cost you." And Naruto was like, "What is it this time?" And she whispers something to Naruto, and Naruto looks at her and was like, "Fine." And Naruto walks out the house, and he comes back with like this guy, with this guy. And when the girl's like, "That not him, the other one," Naruto walks back out the house and grabs this other guy, and he was like, "Not her again." And Naruto's like, "Yeah, sorry, I don't have any money, and this is the best way I can help out, so they're gonna have to suffer for a while." And what she does is she basically, okay, so the two people that that Naruto, the one person that Naruto has, they're her training partners, but they never want to train with her. So Naruto has like people in her squad has to go and forcibly get them to for her to train with them. That's it. So like 30 minutes pass and Hinata is feeling better. Like she's moving around and things and without like feeling any pain. And she walks up to Naruto and she tells him that she didn't have to do all of that for him. And Naruto, like, I know I just messed that up. He didn't have to do anything like that for her. And Naruto looks at her and was like, we're friends, aren't we? After all, we've been sitting together in class for at least a couple of days now. I would assume that we were friends, right? And Hinata like looks at Naruto and was like, "Yeah, I like the sound of that. Friends." And like a whole bunch of people start clapping, and Naruto was like, "Fuck." And she looks around and she sees like it's a whole like it's like three more people that she didn't even sense or see. And they were like, Naruto finally has a friend that isn't her, referring it to the girl that healed Hinata. So Naruto, after like that happens, Naruto tells him like, "Come on, guys, it's not that serious." And then they get very serious and tell Naruto that they're gonna have to go. They're gonna go out on a mission to go find the person who murdered the Uchiha clan. And Naruto is like, "Okay, um, come back safe. You know, you people were the ones who raised me." And they were like, "Don't worry about it. We're the best in the leaf. We got this." So they leave that same night when Hinata goes home and Naruto's in his house. And, they were expecting, Naruto was expecting them back within that week. But when that week passes, Naruto gets a visit from Kakashi and Hiruzen telling Naruto that everybody in his squad, that squad is dead, burned. Like, they were either burned or killed by or like cut in half or whatever. So Naruto, like in complete disbelief, was like that's not possible. You're lying, right? You have to be. There's no way. There's no fucking way. You're lying. And Kakashi was like, Naruto, it's okay. And Naruto was like, so they're going home. And Hiruzen was like, Naruto, we can provide you with another team to look over you while as you grow up. And Naruto was like, no, I'm fine. And he closes the door, and when he looks back into the house, all he could remember was the last thing. Like when he looks around, he notices he looks into the living room, and like the living room leads into the kitchen. There's like this counter and like this stool that the girl that helped Hinata always used to sit on. And the last thing that he's like, that's all he sees every time he looks over there. Every time he looks around the house, he sees where they used to hang out at the most, like the girl, that stool on that counter. There were two guys that were always either arguing or trying to fight each other, but playfully in the outside in the backyard. There was a team leader, and he was always in like this one room, either meditating or trying to get his chakra up or practicing hand signs and seals. And Naruto, after seeing this, like that's all he could remember. Like that's all he sees throughout his house. So the next day, after Naruto gets told that, he walks into school and Kiba approaches Naruto and like he bumps into Naruto and Naruto is like, "So you're not going to say excuse me?" And he turns around and Kiba turns around and was like, "Why would I say excuse me to you?" And without any warning, Naruto grabs Kiba and was like, "I can burn you to a crisp in a matter of seconds. No one could stop me. You're at my mercy, and I'm fresh out of mercy. But here, I'll give you a little taste." And Naruto burns like like he burns Kiba's arm. Like yeah, he burns Kiba's arm and Kiba is screaming in pain. And Hinata sees Naruto and she runs up to Naruto and she says like she asks him what's wrong. And Naruto looks at her and was like, "It's nothing. Don't worry about it." And when they get into the classroom, Naruto gets called out and Naruto gets called out by telling Choji tells Naruto that what he did was wrong and he should apologize. There was no need for that. And Naruto looks at Choji and was like, "Your friend shouldn't have got in my face and started talking. Keep your friends in check and maybe they wouldn't be burned. It's as simple as that." And he looks around the class and he says that to everybody. "If you're going to try to talk to me, if you don't come at me with expect to get burned. I have no patience for people that won't give me respect. I don't care what's inside of me. I don't care what I look like. I don't care what I sound like. I don't care if I'm strong or weak. If you expect to walk up to me and disrespect me, you will be burned." And this is where I'm in this part off. I hope y'all enjoyed. If y'all did, drop a like. If y'all enjoy my content, please subscribe. Anyway, this has been Shinobi, and peace out.